Hello YouTube and welcome to a very special video here on my channel. Basically, if you've been keeping up with my videos, you'll know that I'm on my big project for my third year of BA Theatre, and I'm basically trying to give you a small taster of what my performance actually is. The reason why this video is very special is because you're currently being held by Human Tripod. Say hello, Human Tripod.
Hello.
And Human Tripod is going to be doing my performance from your perspective, and I've never done a video like this before, so this is a bit of an experiment, so bear with me please. Okay, so first of all, my performance includes picking a character from my selection of characters. The main difference between all of them is that they each have an individual superpower. So the humans have gymnastic finesse, which basically means that they are Spider-Man. You've got charm person for the half-elves. That means one person will do their bidding once a day. You've got blend in from the gnomes, which means they can basically disappear into crowds, become not invisible but just unnoticeable. You've got super berserker strength for the half-orcs, which basically means kill, break, destroy, rage. And then with the minotaur you have running with the bulls, which is very similar, but instead of it being an area, it is just one straight line for as long as the character will want to run for. So those are the characters. So Human Tripod, which character would you like to play as today? So this is Puck Faraday, gnome, 4 foot. He wields throwing knives, he is jovial and crafty, and his special power is blend in. So that is your character. I'll just move all of these away. So that is your character. So when somebody wants to play their power, they just ring this bell to signify that they want that power to be played, and then whatever's happening in the story, I will accommodate to that special power. The second part of the character building is you get to click your alignment, which I talked about a couple of videos ago. So basically, good, evil, chaotic, lawful. Human Tripod knows how this works. How would you like to play your gnome?
Neutral evil.
Okay, he wants to be an evil gnome. So we'll just put that there.
I have plans for my gnome.
Plans for your gnome, I am terrified. So that is character building done. This is my map of my town, and this is where you are. So, shall we begin?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, so this is the town of Guanunen. Surrounded by a high stone wall, the large fortified gate is open to you. You enter onto a market square teeming with life and goings-on. So imagine a Middle Eastern cabal. So sights and smells, very colourful, lots of people trying to sell you things. It's very, very lively. So all this noise and sellings and goings-on is going on, and then suddenly the warning bell rings out. So you hear this giant bell just started dinging, and the whole town goes deadly quiet. Guards fill the market square shouting, "The Lord has been assassinated, close the gate!" You turn around 180 to go out the way you came, and the portcullis slams like this far away from your nose, just slams shut in front of you, and then the gate is slid shut and you're pretty much stuck. A guard comes up to you and taps you on the shoulder and goes, "I am very sorry, sir, but we cannot risk the assassin from escaping, so basically you're stuck here until the culprit is caught." You turn around to the market square and you notice that people are being segregated, pulled to one side, stools are being flipped over, it's just pandemonium everywhere. The guard looks at you and goes, "You can stay with us, the guards, and help us trying to catch the culprit, or you can just stay out of the way and try and not meddle with our investigation." What will it be?
I'm going to go my own way.
Okay, so you've decided to go your own way and not meddle with the guards. The guards push you aside roughly and continue on their investigation of the townsfolk. You overhear snippets of conversation as you wander around the town. Some of the conversation is talking about the Lord's assassination. Basically, you find out that the Lord's assassination was incredibly violent, and it dawns on the guards that it probably isn't one of the day traders or the traveling merchants that come here and sell things. It's probably someone who lives in the town and has a personal grudge against the Lord. So they put all the strangers and the foreigners and the people that don't stay here for very long on one side of the square, on this side of the square. And on that side of the square is all the people who were, at least the people living in the city that were in the market square at the time. And as you're looking at this group of people, it dawns on you that they're mostly human. This town, from the history of Guanunen, it's very old and has great historical value. And this is a bit strange that it's very monocultural rather than mixed race. But before this starts to trouble you massively, you continue on, and then a man falls at your feet crying in hysterics and is just wailing about his job and how this country will surely perish if no trade can continue in Guanunen. This man, though you're trying to get away from him, is constantly going, but what will happen to my children, and so on and so forth. And you decide to use your power blend in.
Get rid of him.
You blend in with the crowd, and the man looks very confused for a moment. He goes, "What?" But he still continues to cry. You hear him lamenting about how it's important that trade continues for the lifeblood of this country. And as you're walking away, he starts to go, "Why? You're invisible, so you've managed to sneak up on a couple of the guards who are talking about a reward money that will be given to anyone who can give the Lord, the assassin, dead or alive, which will apparently is 10,000 gold pieces. But this is word of mouth. There has no been official sort of confirmation that this is the reward money, but you know that there is now some sort of reward. You are pretty much invisible, and you will continue to be invisible or unnoticeable for around about 2 hours. What would you like to do?
I would like to investigate the town.
Which parts of the town?
Well, if the guards don't think it was anyone who is visiting the town, so in the shops or the market squares, etc., then either the residential district or the ghetto.
Okay, which one would you like to explore first?
The residential district.
Okay, so you melt away through the crowd, and you kind of zigzag your way through the shops, and no one's noticing you, and you go into the residential area, and again it dawns on you that the people that live in the residential area are humans. You also now notice that they're quite wealthy. They're living a good life. It dawns on you that this must be a very rich city because the houses are built well. They're wearing fine clothes. They look very happy, very content. But it does trouble you slightly. You see occasional half-orcs, and you see very occasional other races here and there spotted around. But it does trouble you a little bit more than it did before, that the just sheer number of humans living in the city. You overhear a lot of conversations, and you notice that they all seem to think it was the dirty elves that live in the city. They all are like saying, well, it must be an elf. It must be an elf. Like, it wasn't even, it's not even a trouble for them. It's like, why are they talking to the people in the market square? Why are they talking to the people that were found near the X's when they should be searching the ghetto for the dirty elf that killed our lord and master? What would you like to do? You still have an hour left.
I would like to search the ghetto then.
Okay.
See what I can see.
So you exit the residential from here, and you go past the Adius Panthei, which you notice is a temple full of lots of different shrines, and you notice that there are not many Fae-based gods there. It's mainly just human gods. But you go past the Adius Panthei, you notice a tower with a very thick burning smell. It's very acrid. And you notice that some of the windows are larger than other windows, like they've been blasted open. And you go around that tower, and then you enter the ghetto from this corner. Roll this dice for me. Okay, it takes you a really long time to search the ghetto. Like, it takes you more than the hour that you have. So suddenly you kind of pop into existence, and a couple of elves are going, oh! Whilst you're searching around, you notice that there are only two things living in this area of the city, and that is rats and elves. And unlike elves, the rats are fat and healthy looking. Elves are pretty much scrawny little twigs of people, very ill, very sickly, and their houses are basically shacks. After a couple of hours, you come across a small figure, hunched up, shivering, and covered in blood. What would you like to do?
I'm going to question her. I tower over her.
4 foot.
She's cowering.
In any case, you startle her. You notice she is a young elf of around 17, scrawny and absolutely terrified, even though you're a 4 foot gnome. She then starts to cry out and plead with you, please, please don't have me in, please, I can explain. She then starts to sob uncontrollably.
I will listen to what you have to say.
She takes a deep breath, and her eyes are sparkling with tears. My name is Elwyn. I was a servant in the Lord's household. I just couldn't do it anymore. I couldn't watch my people suffer. That's why he had to die. Elves are second-class citizens in Guanunen. We can't own property. No one will give us proper jobs. We can't afford a good education for our children, and we're forced to live in squalor. He was kind and generous to humans that live in the city, but he was cruel and sadistic to us elves. And in one of his episodes, I just snapped. I grabbed the knife and I just stabbed him, just over and over again. And please, you have to help me escape. I know the way, and when I do, I can raise an army and show humans what it's like to live as elves in Guanunen. You also notice she has a mad glint in her eye. She's teeny weeny bit crazy. Maybe not a teeny wee, maybe quite a lot crazy.
Very well. I'll help you escape.
You want to help her escape? Okie dokie. She lights up. Her eyes light up, and a faint smile appears on her face. She clings onto you as you help her up to her feet, and she whispers softly, this way. So you sort of zigzag through the ghetto. She's taking you this way and that, until you come across this door. You're behind a shack. There's a shack, and then at the end, and then there's maybe a 5 foot gap, and then there's one guard standing on a relatively large door. It could probably fit 2 by 2 people. It's reinforced, iron, wood, thick. It looks like a very sturdy door. She explains to you that that's the Polestone Gate. It's hardly ever used, but beyond that is the docks. And she, being so small and scrawny, she could definitely smuggle her way onto a ship. The door is enchanted. Every gate is enchanted to only open with a key held by a guard, as like a safeguard, so no one can exit the city without permission if this sort of thing happens. She also explains to you that the door cannot be broken unless by significant strength, and she also tells you that the only way to go over the door is unless you have superhuman gymnastic ability. What would you like to do?
I say to Elwyn, come Elwyn, I wish to talk to this guard. And then stride out into the street.
With Elwyn?
Yes.
The guard looks at her and sees that she's covered in blood and starts to scream out, it's the assassin! I found her! And starts to scream at the top of his lungs. What would you like to do now that you've alerted the guard that you have the assassin?
I would like to kill her.
So you just stab her with one of your die. Okay.
And then kill him.
Okay. You don't have to roll for her because she's so weak, but you'll have to roll for him. You've wounded him, but you haven't killed him. You needed to roll 10 or higher to kill him.
What did I roll?
You rolled an 8.
Okay. Where did I wound him?
There. So you aimed relatively close to the heart, but you got him there. So he sort of goes, ah! Oh, my shoulder! Oh, the pain! Oh, the pain! Oh, the pain! Do you want to try again?
Yes.
Because you have multiple throwing knives.
Yes, I would like to throw a second knife at him.
Okay. Roll again. Roll 6.
Add them together, it's more than 10.
Add them together, it's more than 10. I will give you that. You basically hit him in the same place, but the amount of blood that was spewing out of his chest, he sort of doubles over and slowly dies, but he's still screaming. You have around about 20 minutes before guards will find you with 2 bodies.
I will hide in the shadows. Not blend in, just hide in the shadows.
Okay.
And wait for the guards to arrive. Take it, have a roll for this.
Yeah. It's only a d12. You rolled a 9, that's high enough. Yeah, you can hide. You only had to roll a d12 because you're such a small character.
Yeah.
And yeah, a 9 on a d12 is relatively high, so you definitely hide. 20 minutes have passed, and there are 4 guards who are looking at a dead elf and a dead guard and 3 throwing knives. 1 in her chest, 1 is her neck, and 2 in his chest. And they're going, what just happened here? What would you like to do?
I'd like to step out of the shadows.
Yep.
Behind the guards, as if I've just entered the street.
Okay.
And say, "The assassin! She's been killed!"
They go, ha!
She must have killed one of the guards and fallen on her own blade.
In her neck?
She's an elf. They're very clumsy.
I probably should have mentioned this before, but the guards in the city are very not smart. They're very dumb. So it takes him a little while of just looking and going, well, no. I suppose that you're right. Thank you. So he sort of grabs the elf and they go, bring him also. So 2 guards pick up the guard that has been slain. The main guard puts the elf on his shoulders, like, we're going to take this to the Lord and get the reward money. So they all kind of storm off.
Okay. I will return to the market square.
Yeah.
And watch the show.
Okay, so they go to the market square. You notice that the Lord has been sat in a large ornate chair on a plinth, and the guard puts the elf on his feet. He's very pleased. He gives the guard 10,000 gold pieces. He also gives him a title of Hero of Goninen. He's been promoted, basically, so he's not just a guard anymore. He's actually an advisor, which is great news for the city. And the Lord says, open the gates, and the gates are open. He announces a 2-week feast, and so people start singing and drinking, and the gates are open.
Can I see where the guard is? The one who received 10,000 gold pieces?
Yes, you can. He's kind of sat on a fancy chair with a silly crown on his head, like a fake crown that people have made for him.
Uh-huh.
And it would be everyone saying, oh yeah, go Jeff, he is awesome.
Okay. I would like to stay in the city for a night.
Okay, you stay in the city for a night. Are you talking about, like, as the party?
As the party is ending.
Okay, so this is around about 5, 6, 7 in the morning. The sky's pink. Everyone's drunk. No one has gone to bed. Everyone is still in their partying positions. Yeah. He is still in his chair. He's just drunk so much that he's just kind of curled up in his chair going, I'm the hero of Goninen. I'm the hero of Goninen.
Okay.
And not being a very smart guard and rolling a 2, he has left his big chest of gold, which is around about 1,000 gold pieces short, because he bought everyone drinks. So there is now 9,000 gold pieces in the war chest next to his side. Because I'm guessing that's what you want to do with it.
Maybe.
Okay. Do you want to steal it and leave?
Yes.
Do you want to use your power just to make sure? Okay.
Yes, I will blend in with the crowd and retrieve the chest.
It's kind of like on wheels, like it's connected to a goat, and the goat is asleep. But you manage to wake up the goat, and
the goat's not drunk.
The goat is not drunk. You're 4 foot. You probably can't ride the goat.
I can ride the chest.
But you can ride the chest, sort of like, yeah.
Yes.
Sort of kind of riding it. So yeah, you totally leave the city. The guards are all drunk as well, because it was the guard that found the thing. So everyone's drunk, everyone's asleep. If someone attacked the city right now, they'd totally lose. And you leave with 10,000 gold pieces.
9,000 gold pieces.
9,000 gold pieces. I am sorry, because you lost a little bit, but still 9,000 gold pieces isn't bad. And you got that ending.
Yay!
Thank you, YouTube, for doing this with me. I have no idea how this is going to turn out. I will only see in the editing. But yeah, basically that's how my performance works out. There were lots of different options of different ways that Human Tripod could have done the story. That wasn't the most simple, but the reason why it was complicated is the fact that people can choose the way that they go, and that is the main important thing for my piece. So people tend to improvise their own sort of special thing, and they tend to do lots of different squacky stuff. But that's basically how it would work. So I'm going to leave it there. Thank you, Human Tripod, for doing this with me.
No worries. It was very fun, very enjoyable.
Thank you very much, and I will see you guys next time.